Hey everybody. Hi, Patricia. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you, Noni?
I'm good. Thank you so much. You look relaxed.
Yes, I am Sunday vibe, Sunday afternoon vibe.
It's good to see you, and it's good to see you laugh. Your life can't be easy, man. I always think about you and be like, hey, whenever you are my inspiration, by the way, whenever I'm like feeling some feelings about hardships of life, I'll be like, there's a woman who has a husband and children, and I'm here complaining, dear Lord. Sorry. Sorry.
Noni, I'm always laughing. I'm always laughing. There's nothing that can break or kill my spirit. Yes, things are hard. I'm going through rough times, but there's no reason to be sour and ask yourself, why me? Why me now? That's what I decided to do, and I must make the best of whatever it became.
Oh, nice. How are the exams going? Are you done with your exams?
Yes, I'm done. My last research proposal I submitted on Wednesday. Actually, on Wednesday, I didn't want to be late because most of the people submit on the last day. Then the system is
Yes.
overloaded, and
And it
so I
crashes.
never. Yes, I never take that chance. On Wednesday, I submitted my research portfolio, and now I'm just waiting for my results.
Oh, nice. Is it your final year?
It's my final year, but I will only complete my degree next semester. Should I pass all my modules, I will be left with 6 modules, which I will be completing next semester.
Thank you so much. May God bless you, man, Mama Pet. I hope all goes well and you actually get the opportunity to actually practice as a law abiding citizen of South Africa and also get a law firm that will assist you to do your articles and all of those things that you need to be the qualified person. Thank you so much for even taking that route. I think it's going to, we do need people that we can trust in South Africa, that we can be sure of that they will do what needs to be done.
Thank you very much, Nomi. Thank you so much.
All right, then today we are here, and all we talk about is the corruption of our South Africa, of our beloved South Africa, of our beloved South Africa. I doubt that Abo Mandela, Abo, who is this? Abo Mbeki, Gavin Mbeki, the father of Thabo Mbeki, Abo, who else? Abo Lutuli, Abo, all these politicians, those people who were in exile, all of them, I doubt this is the South Africa they wanted for us.
Now,
I doubt it
I
very much.
really doubt. I really,
And
really doubt.
I doubt it very much. And I believe that when Mandela said, if ANC does to you what the apartheid government did to us, you do what you did to the apartheid government. He had a point there. He had a
Exactly. Exactly. And I believe it's happening. We saw in the last results. I'm afraid for ANC going through the next results, 2029. I'm really afraid because still, regardless of the is being exposed, the corruption, there's still no political will to address or to deal with the corruption. And at the end of the day, it's not the comrades or the politicians who are suffering. At the end of the day, it's the ordinary person on the street, the ordinary mother, father, child, kids, school kids who are dying from expired food or whatever is killing them. And we have a silent president who's not saying anything. And I believe in the next elections, look what happened in the USA. We never thought that Trump will be back, and there he is, he's back.
Yeah, yeah. No one ever saw that one coming. And look where we are right now. Look,
Look
even
where we
them, the US people are even shocked.
Even in Botswana, we never thought there will be a regime change in Botswana, and look what happened. You know what? When the masses speaks, no one will stop them. No one will stop them. And these people who are currently in power, They must prepare themselves for we are less than 5 years, let's say 4 and something months left till the next elections, and they must and the sad part of it is it's old people. It's old people who are sitting in parliament, and they are making young people suffer. So at the end of the day, they don't care. Most of them will not even be alive by 2029. So they don't
Eish.
really care what is going to happen in the next 5 years, but those who are going to stay behind, that's the problem.
Do you
That's
know
the
when you
problem.
say it's old people, it really hurt my heart because those people that are sitting in that parliament who are 60 years old plus going up, 60 years old plus going up, still sitting and occupying positions that are supposed, but they have the nerve of saying a cut-off age for us people that are younger than them is 30 years old to apply for certain jobs or to enter to certain industries, which is very unfair. When you talk about that, you are really making me think and
I
like
really
really
don't
think about the
know.
pain that South Africans, especially young people, go through.
I really don't know what common sense they used when they came up with that legislation to say that 35 years is the cut-off age for applying to a job. Because if you are 35 years old, the usual pension date, retirement years is 65 years old. You're 35 years old. What are you going to do for the next 30 years of your life? Most of our youth are still staying in the parents' houses, in backyards, in the if they are 35 years now and they can't find a job, meaning they are going to stay in the parents' life for the rest of their lives. What about their own children? Meaning that the future is dead because the jobs died with 35 years of age. So yes, I really and for that matter, these parliamentarians are public servants, and the public
Eish.
service act is speaking to everyone. If the public service act say, okay, 35 years is the cut of date, then it must apply to everyone, even to those in parliament, even to the presidents, because once you in public office, you are public servants and you are subjected to the Public Service Act. So then all of them should then now be released of their duties because they are double over the age. They are double over the age, and they must make room for people who are younger than 35 years because they come up with that law.
Hey, suspect we will talk about politics until Jesus comes.
Ah,
It's a
yeah.
long, long topic and it has layers like an
Many
onion.
problems. Mm, too many
Now,
challenges.
yeah, yeah. Now, let's talk about. I remember last week we spoke about a lot of things. The last time we spoke about a lot of things, but we did not get to because I remember I was in a live a few weeks back with you on TikTok. In that live, you mentioned something about the firearm of accused number three, and then you said things that left me as Unoni very confused because I was like, but that's not what was said in court. What are you saying to us? And you were busy uh peeling the onion there. You were peeling that onion and you were like, hi, Bo, those layers. I wasn't aware. Hi, man. Everyone was confused and we were like, okay, we need Suspect to actually explain this. What are you saying to us? But before we get into that, let me ask questions that are going to get you into that so that we go point by point in order for me to understand. You also posted about it in your Twitter page, in your X page, formerly known as Twitter. So you spoke about the firearm that accused number three was supposedly the one that was he used to the other case that he had, the Cleveland Alexandra case, and now it was taken from the store place, which is the Cleveland store place, where the witness, which was who is this guy? Hold on. Mtali came to explain how it was taken out and was taken in and out, and how it ended up being by Gininda and Mangena currently, that it's not with him. And he also mentioned that it is a firearm that is was on its way to be destroyed because when it was checked, it was found to be the firearm that was used for the crime of the Cleveland Alexandra case. And then after that, it was not found with any other crime, so it was ready to be destroyed, right? Now, we come to court, and then Mangena tells the court that actually this firearm is matching the same, was it bullets or projectiles that were found in the crime scene of the Senzo Meyiwa crime scene where he died. And now, accused number 3 gets up and be like, no, that can't be. Here is proof. When I got arrested and they checked whatever cases, here is proof, guys. Me, they checked, and this case, 636, is number 1. Is number 1 on the list, and Mangena did not read this one. He actually started from number 2. So this one was also tested in 2015, and it did not match those bullets or projectiles. That I'm not a person that knows about bullets, so I don't know the difference. So it did not match anything. Now, how come years later it's going to come
Now,
and be told that it's matching? But back
yeah.
then, because I understood his frustration, because if you remember, there is still an article in the Saps department as website where it was written that it was June 2015, that every firearm that comes through in, I think in South Africa, every firearm that comes through, if someone had used it for crime, please check if those projectiles or bullets that were found in the Meyiwa crime scene, please check if it links. So it was never linked, because every police officer obviously was checking if it will link, right? So even that firearm at the time, it was linked to where it is. It was linked where it is for the Cleveland Alexandra case. It was linked because they linked the bullets that were found or projectiles that were found. They link with that firearm. So it never linked with the Senzo Meyiwa one. But now Mangena makes it link somehow. Now you come with a Skaka, this is pet winner. You are like, actually, I have more news, Gesana, for you guys. While he is busy linking it with the Meyiwa case, take it and go check it out if it's still linking with the Alexander case. Go check it out. Check it
Yes.
out. What's going on there? Please talk to us. I've been talking.
Remember, this gun was supposedly used in October 2014 to shoot Senzo. 2015, the gun was taken for IRIS test. And it didn't link. Remember, if the gun is taken for IRIS test, it's going to link to any crime that was committed using that gun. And in the police, from 2007, there was a backlog of firearm applications in 2011, but not the test. So from 2007 upwards, every year when there's a destruction of firearms, all the firearms will be taken for IRIS testing. And those test results will come back. So meaning all those firearms will link somewhere where there was a crime committed with that firearm. So from 2014 upwards, up until 2020, because I remember from 2019, there was no destruction. From 2019 upwards, there was no destruction. So let's say from 2014 upwards to up until 2018, any firearm that was linked with the Senzo Meyiwa murder would have been picked up at the IRIS test. Including the Cleveland one. It would have been picked up and linked to the Senzo Meyiwa murder. Why was it not linked to the Senzo Meyiwa murder? Hence, I was saying now, let's do this now to prove beyond reasonable doubt. Let this firearm be taken again for IRIS testing so that we can, not by Mangena, because Mangena already now linked it somehow. We don't know how. Because in the first place, before, remember that firearm was already tested, it was declared, it was inspected by all the role players, the DFO, the provincial commanders, everyone. It was inspected, it was already packed. It was already packed, ready. The file was already opened, because if it's already declare for distraction, it doesn't stay at a police station. All the firearms every week, on a weekly basis, the police stations take the firearms they are meant for distraction and they take it to the provincial storage facility, where those firearms will be kept in steel trunks. Each firearm has its own file with the ammunition linked to that firearm. All the ammunition also have a file. They are being recorded in those files in the register everywhere, and those firearms are being kept in a steel trunk. And then even when it's time for the firearms to be distracted, the firearms are then being signed off by the provincial commander of the firearm department, by the provincial commissioner of that province, and the firearms are then being sent to the facility where it's going to be distracted. And when it reaches the facility, the firearms are not just being, all of them just being thrown into a fire. Now, each and every firearm, they are being counted one by one to check whether this is the correct firearm into the file. They are being counted, each and every firearm. Before those firearms are being struck, there's a list, there's a checklist, and each and every firearm are being checked. Once those firearms are being distracted, that list are being signed, the minister, the national commissioner is there, the minister is there, both of them, and those lists, checklists are being sent back to the province
Wait,
to
Susmet.
show.
Wait. So you wanna tell me that chances are there is a list somewhere because this firearm was on its road to being destroyed. So you
You
wanna
don't
tell me there is a
want firearms.
list.
You
There
don't
is a list
destroy.
out here
Yes.
that has that firearm's profile that
On the
says that
distraction.
it's going to be destroyed. So
Because you
if
can't.
it's in that list, if it's in that list, this is fair. It was never going to be on that list if it had other crimes that it was found against, right?
No.
I
It was going to be, now it was going to be booked into the SAP 13 as an exhibit. With a docket, they are going to be open, they are going to check which crime are this firearm. The detective now. Now a detective are now going to come and open a docket, because this firearm had been linked to a crime. If there's already a docket open, then the investigation officer in that docket will then be called and say, this is what we found according to the IRIS test. This firearm had been linked. And the procedure to remove that, because there's also a procedure to move. Now, remember, there's already a list that must go to
yes.
it. So there's another procedure to remove that firearm now. There ends no procedure like that ever happen, because a firearm will not get on the list unless it has been tested.
So, in other words, what you are telling us right now, there is corruption that happened here when it comes to this firearm.
Definitely.
Because
How
the same
how
Mangena,
how did
so
they manage to remove the firearm without the necessary procedures? Because to remove the firearm from the list is another procedure. It's not just take the firearm, I'm going to scratch this out. Did you hear the already the procedures that I told you was going to be followed? Because now this list are also being sent to Parliament. Parliament wants to know how many firearms did you destroyed in the 2023-2024 year. Now they must provide, the minister must now provide these stats to Parliament to say, these are the firearms that we destroyed from Free State, Gauteng, Northern Cape, wara. In Free State, we have our own list. We can see our own list is this is how many firearms we destroyed. We didn't lose one firearm along the way. Because if you lose the firearm, how did you lose it? How do you lose the firearm? Because the firearm is already on the list. So if that firearm are getting removed from the list, corruption has been committed.
So tell me, if that is the procedure, then why did Mtshali give this firearm from the storeroom to Mkininda and Mangena at the time when he gave it to them?
Didi. The
That's
question
what he
is,
said.
okay, he gave them the, if he say he gave them the firearm, then Mchali must come and show us the procedure that he followed. He cannot make that decision. He cannot make that decision. Decision must be made from up there. He must report to his superiors to say, you know what? Apparently, this firearm in his possession. Remember, the firearm was in his possession.
Yes,
Now
it
come
was in his
Gininda.
possession.
Yes. Now come Gininda and say, but that firearm has been linked to this crime. How did they link it? While the firearm is in the possession of Mjali.
Because this thing of it being on its way to being destroyed, I don't know whether a decision was still to be made, but there is something about it being in a list of firearms that were going to be destroyed.
That's
So
what
I
he
could
said.
be, yes.
He
So
said,
I want to understand, if there is a procedure like that, how does he let it out from that storeroom?
Noni,
Uh,
Noni, there's no way a firearm can be put on the list of firearms meant for distraction while that firearm are being linked with another crime. There's no way. There's no way. That firearm cannot be distracted if it's an exhibit in a crime. Hence, I'm saying the firearms are being either tested before distraction. Before they compile, even start to compile the list of, they must check whether which firearm have been linked to a crime. That firearm are then being removed. It can, because once the firearm are meant for distraction. Remember when a firearm are being taken by the police, there's a procedure where they call it, you are forfeiting. The firearm are being forfeited to the state. Now that firearm, whether you handed your firearm over voluntarily, whether this firearm was found at the crime scene, whether. Now that firearm now belongs to the state. So now what the state must now check is who is the previous owner of this firearm. Most of the firearms, when you check on the serial number, you will see who's the previous owner. It will be the details of the previous owner will be there. And then you find the firearms were found on crime scenes when you cannot determine, maybe the serial number has been scratched off. Now they say this firearm must be sent for etching and IBIS testing. So this firearm are now being sent for etching and firearm testing, IBIS testing. So now this firearm, after the test, the results are being sent back to the provincial office. So now that you have the results to say this firearm have been used in the commission of a crime. Now this firearm, now that has been used in the commission of a crime, this firearm will not go through to the stage of distraction. This firearm, now a case must be opened because this firearm are linked to a certain crime. And then the procedure that's going to be followed now is the docket is going to be opened, the firearm is going to go back to the relevant station, and the firearm is going to be booked in the SAPS 30.
okay. So now, something about this so-called firearm of I choose number 3 being the one that you said, actually, if ever they were to take it now and take it to the IBIS testing, it won't test even for the Cleveland case that he is serving.
It won't. Even for a
Because, wait,
I
suspect, wait.
remember we have what we must request now. We must request the IBIS testing that was done by Mchali on this firearm. That IBIS testing must now come. We must see to which crimes. Remember this was the first test that was done on this firearm. And the first test on the firearm will show you all the crimes that this firearm have been linked to.
It was done by rule of, sir.
Yes. So now let him bring those IBIS test results and take the firearm again to be IBIS tested, not by Mangena. Because Mangena do it in his own way. It's also a 2% like that.
Sis Pat, you mentioned something about it might not test for this case that I choose 374, right? However, if it can be also tested for the ones that Ntuli right now is serving for, you made it sound, the reason that I wanted us to talk about this because you made it sound like they changed the barrel from accused 3 from accused 3 to Ntuli's 1 to from Ntuli's 1 to accused 3.
Is the only reasonable explanation that they might have changed the barrels. Is the only reasonable but remember also, in Ntuli's cases, Makubu also did IBIS test in the firearms. They had linked that firearm that Ntuli used in the commission of the crimes. That firearm was linked with those crimes that Ntuli committed. So those are also the IBIS testing that was done by Makubu.
So
So
if ever for the sorry suspect, if ever they can test the firearm now and test the ones for Ntuli's cases, and both sides now they don't match.
let them take both those firearms and test both those firearms. Let us see whether those two firearms link to the sense of Miwamara. It might link to the crimes that they committed, the murders that they committed. But the only thing that we want here is to see whether it links to the sense of Miwamara.
No, I mean, if now there is a change of barrels, if they exchange them from the one, they took the barrel from the accused number 5-1 and put it on the accused number 3, took the ones from the accused number 3 and put it on the accused number 5. Now, if they were to be tested both firearms now, they won't give positive result for the cases they are serving for. And now it's back to square one because appeals court will say take them out of jail.
That's why I'm
Do you
saying
see the corruption, what
this
it causes to South Africa?
is but the unfortunate part here is the state will oppose such, and the defense will have to pay for IBIS testing. You understand my point? The defense will have to pay, like they also have now, they expert there in court, they will have to pay more money to test now these two firearms. They must, if they request, you know what we want to do now, we want to test these two firearms. The state have money to do whatever testing they want to do. But I can tell you, once the state is going to request for, the judge is going to say, no, pay your own. And at the end of the day, the state were the ones, was supposed to be the ones to say, to prove beyond reasonable doubt that these guys are guilty. Let's test these two firearms. That was the state's job. It's not a defense job to run around and get their own what. It's not. Remember, the state must find someone guilty beyond reasonable doubt, not specific persons who the state say, no, these persons killed Tenzombiwa. That's not the state's job to defend. It's not the state's job to defend anyone. The state's job is to find someone guilty in that court of law beyond reasonable, regardless of who that person is. Now, what the state is doing here, Nomi, the state is defending. The state must work with all the evidence that are being submitted to them and say, you know what, we got evidence here. Let's try and check whether this evidence is going to prove that these guys actually committed this crime. But that is not what is happening in this case.
You suspect every day you come with Skaka and you've got sources, man, that have they give information. Imagine you are getting this information free of charge. You don't pay for it. So meaning that you are not the only one who is concerned about things that are happening in our
I'm
country.
not the only one. I'm not, you know what? There's a lot of people out there who are concerned about what is happening in this case. Because um, if you talk about the state, you're talking about all of us. You're talking about all of
Yes.
us. We are the state, we are the taxpayers, we are the state. And if we found ourselves in a position where we say that, you know what, uh, we are going to not charge certain people in this matter because according to Mang Mang, those persons must go to jail because they already serving sentences for committing similar crimes. Mind you, how many people will are already in jail for that matter on Gininda's cases? On Gininda's cases, how many people are already in jail on Gininda's cases? Let's go back to the Radwan Krecha case. Those people are appealing their sentence. One of them is already out on appeal. Is already being released on appeal. Of
So,
them are it's a Pakistani national. I know because someone informed me, it was earlier this year, to say, you know what, these guys have been sending me messages while they were still in jail. And there's a lady who was also arrested in this Radwan. Her name is Tan, is a police officer. She has also recently been released after how many years in jail without even going to court.
huh?
She have just been released out of I spoke to her. I spoke to her. She have just been released out of so many years without even attending. Just to say, you know what, you can go home. And she spent about 7 6 7 years in jail. The other ones, I'm also communicating with them. They are waiting the court date. I have statements, Nomi. I have confessions in how they were tortured in the same way that Ntanzi and Sibia were tortured to make confessions. Their confessions were not admitted in court when they went for appeal in that matter. When they went into the trial within the trial, it was found that Gininda tortured them. And the judge did not admit those confessions. Although another judge found them guilty. That's why they are appealing the sentence. Because how do you find people guilty if the judge at the appeal court did not admit the confessions? Now another judge go and say, although the confessions has not been admitted, but you are still guilty.
Sure. Guys, can you please like the live? 171 likes, but we are 432 in this live. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on now. You can't be doing that to me and suspect. Please, can we please like the live? Please, there's three dots in some people's phones. Click on those three dots, and then the like button will be there. Click once. That's it. Then you are done. Some of you, can you please click on my nose or suspect nose twice? That's it. The like will come through. Please, guys, come on, come on. Please, man, come on, guys, come on. Now let's talk about the crime scene. Ne? They say they found bullets. Okay, Mushasho, my homegirl Mushasho, says that she found bullets, or is it bullets or projectiles, whatever it is that she found. And then we see a clip on Netflix of General Sibia saying, it
I was
was, I don't know who's the other person, the other guy.
It was the former acting national commissioner, Patani.
Yes, both of them are like, everything was messed up at the crime scene. So if the department knew that everything was messed up in the crime scene, why was there action? Because in my view, I'm a layperson. In my view, they were supposed to act against the people who were inside the house, arrest all of them, put them in jail until they tell the truth without bail. Because going around chasing after people that we do not know why you cleaned a crime scene. There's a crime scene that was contaminated by being cleaned, and then there is you talking stories that are not the same while you were all in the same house. And the descriptions, it's something else. And then you go and say, a Zamokushe that used to wash the same car of this man is the one. Do you want to tell me Zamokuhle who came in without any balaclava? You won't know him.
That's exactly what Makubu did. January 2019, Makubu opened docket 375 for defeating the ends of justice and perjury against all the people in the house, against General Sibia, against Brigadier Gininda. That's what Makubu did, because Makubu did his investigations, unlike Gininda, who got stories from that one and that one and that one. Makubu actually did his, Makubu Butelezi actually did the investigations. They found that these people in the house are lying. Remember, Makubu was on the crime scene that night because who called him? Sibia called him. When he arrived on the crime scene, Sibia told him, he said, you know what? Can you please assess the scene and tell me, what do you see? Makubu went into the house. He assessed the crime scene. There were already a lot of people there. Access the crime scene, speak to people. Remember, the incident is just happened. It's fresh in everybody's minds. Everybody is saying what just happened. Everybody is saying, he speaks to 1, 2, 3, 2 people, what happened. And everybody is saying what they heard, what they saw. And Makubu didn't make a determination that night, but he did went to Sibia to tell him that there were no people in the house. And Sibia didn't like that answer because already they had this plans. Because the firearm that was used is a very questionable firearm. And I wonder whether that firearm is still available. But the firearm that was used, if that firearm can be taken, can be found and taken for ballistics, I believe a lot of bodies went through that firearm. That's what I believe. And I can tell you now, that is the firearm that are being protected. Not this firearm of Ntuli, not this firearm of Nube. That firearm is the firearm that are being protected in this case. So now, Makubu and Butelezi are being appointed as a team with Gininda and the rest. The other ones, Mukhola, Mang, they are Gininda's sub-team. They are the ones that Gininda appointed. Remember, Gininda placed himself here as the lead investigator in this case. We don't, there's no way where Sitole or Begitele signed to say, you are the lead investigator. You can be a brigadier, you can be a general. But the cases that Makubu solved in KZN, when he was working at a political killing testing, are much better than the brigadier. And he was, you know what, I will not even call him a brigadier because he never contested for anyone in an interview. He never contested for anyone in a promotion from captain to brigadier. He was just handed promotions like that. If you never contended with anyone in a panel, if you never had competition, how do I know that you are the best? Because there was no one else who was standing there and the post was never advertised. It was just ending.
Tell Mrs. Pett, now that the other day, I think few weeks of spring cleaning, you posted a lot of cases up and you were tagging the departments, justice, everyone, Saps and everything. Do you ever get anyone who responds to you because you posted a lot of Gininda's cases that we knew nothing about? And somehow in my heart of heart, I don't know about other people, I felt like that really did dent Gininda's ego somehow, because the Gininda that we have in court today now, who is testifying there, is not the same Gininda that we had when he came back, he came last year, October until January. That's not the same. The Kininda that we had the first time, he was bubbly, he was speaking a lot. Today, we are dealing with a Kininda who created new words of English about verbatim, about verbatim. Like,
Whatever. Yes, Noni. To answer that question, yes. There's this member of the portfolio committee on police, Honorable Fadil Adams. I'm speaking to him on a daily basis. He is responding, and as you can see, he's already opened several cases against the generals that I exposed. And currently, we are, as I said, we are busy with Gininda's cases. Remember, Gininda also lost the firearm. And all the
yes, I
cases,
remember you posted about that too.
Gininda was also arrested for corruption. And those cases never went to court. All those cases were closed in 2020. If you can go and look at all Gininda's cases that were open in 2010, 2013, back then, were closed in 2020 days when Gininda became a brigadier. So those cases, we are busy with those cases. Those dockets must be fetched. Those dockets must be reopened, because if Gininda lost a firearm, in terms of the Firearm Controls Act, if you lose a firearm, there must be an investigation to determine whether you were negligent when you lost that firearm. There was the member, if it's a police firearm, the member, there must be a docket opened. There must be a departmental file opened against the member. There must be a section 1, we call it a section 102 investigation, to determine whether the member is fit to possess a firearm. Now, what is so funny to me, in the police, members get 3 firearms.
Okay.
They get, yes, they get the rifle, they get a shotgun, they get a handgun. It's when you go to the college, there's the 3 firearms that you get training in. And when you get your competency certificate, it will show on your competency certificate is for your handgun, is for your rifle, is for your shotgun. Only that 3. And Gininda have 4, was issued with 4 handguns. 4 handguns. It has never, ever happened before. So now we ask ourselves, why and how? If the competency certificate is talking about 1 handgun, 1 shotgun, 1 rifle. So you see already corruption has been committed there. How possible was Gininda issued with 4 handguns when his competency certificate has only 3 firearms, 1 handgun? So one of those firearms got lost. There was a case open, but in 2020, that case was closed. Then
Who's
Gininda was,
closing these cases?
the case was closed. I have all that information. The case was closed at the police station where it was open. Then there's the case for corruption, where Gininda was charged for corruption, fraud and corruption. People who were charged with him, sentenced, and Gininda, the case against him was not dropped. The docket was just closed by the police station, at a police station. So then there's the issue of the state cars that has been registered in his son's name. How do you take the car that belongs to the state and register it in your son's name? So now I went deeper into that issue of the vehicle. And then on the son's ID, the cars are registered on the son's ID. The son is not working for SAPS, not at all. On the son's ID, the cars are registered on the son's ID. On the number plates, now the car a free state number plate. All cars, a free state
Phew.
number plate. Now I ask them to check the number plates. On the number plates, the car registered that someone was staying in Bloemfontein. I asked them who checked for me at the traffic department, how possible is that? And they said, it's something like that. The fact the car cannot be on your ID, on your name, then the registration is on someone else's name. In another place. So you see the things that are being associated with in the end. The most important thing in SAPS. You can only use state vehicle from a constable and up until to a lieutenant colonel to use state vehicles, to drive state vehicles, to use state vehicles. From a colonel upwards, you are not allowed to drive state vehicles. You are not allowed to be transported in state vehicles. You are not allowed to be in possession of state vehicles. That vehicles. Besides the Ninda's family using the state vehicles, they are also using state petrol cars, and Ninda is also getting a 6,000 rand petrol allowance, travel allowance per month. So now, all these cases that we are opening against Ninda is
Sure, Sis this is a lot of information to take in.
there's going to be a race. It's not going to be for the same Miwa case now because Docker 375 is waiting for him to be charged. Already, no, already there was a J50. Let me tell you what happened. We read each two of the Makubu got the J50 to arrest all the people in the house, including Sibia and Gininda. Remember when Makubu had a meeting? The meeting was not with Baloy. The meeting was with this other prosecutor. It was not Baloy. So Makubu got a J50. And then Gininda, after Makubu, now Gininda went to Baloy. Remember when people went to court and therefore said, yes, the J50 already been signed by this prosecutor. And what did Baloy say? Baloy said, no, that prosecutor is a junior prosecutor. It was only an opinion.
I remember.
So, Makubu already got a warrant of arrest for all the people in the house, for Gininda and Sibia, and then come Baloy and say, no, it was only an opinion. How can a prosecutor put his signature on a warrant of arrest as an opinion?
So they never executed the warrant of arrest because
Executed because now Baloy and Gininda decided that no, we rather now prosecute this docket which has not been finalized yet. Remember,
where is that
Gininda's
prosecutor now?
the prosecutor is I think they transferred him. I will get you his name. They transferred him because now they couldn't deal with the fact that he is a prosecutor, because every prosecutor have the right to make a decision if he see there's enough evidence in a docket to prosecute. He doesn't have to go to the senior prosecutor and say, you know what, can I please prosecute? There's enough evidence. If he makes his decision and he sees there's enough evidence in a docket, you can sign it off. You can ask Lizzie was a prosecutor. You sign off that docket, you tell them this is a warrant of arrest, go and arrest these people. The warrant of arrest is still in 375, signed.
Sure. Suspect quickly ne, before I let you go. Ne. Some people here are asking about Mjiako. Who is Mjiako? Briefly, you told us last week, but I guess there are people that were not here. Let's talk about him. Who is Mjiako and why is he involved in this case?
Um, let's start where Kininda testified. Remember, Kininda said he arranged a meeting between Njiako and Ndanzi. You have been arrested and accused. Since when does the investigation officer arrange a lawyer for you?
Good question.
Where does the investigation fit in with you and your legal representative?
No way.
Unless the legal representative has been bought in for you to make confessions.
Mm-hmm.
Another from way back in 2008 when they both work in crime intelligence. Mjiako in crime intelligence is Dominic. What is the other? I forgot
Dladla.
the, the surname was that. The surname was that. So when he joined crime intelligence, he was Tlatla. So now, Mjiako, if you can go look at the address of the legal practice of Mjiako, that address is Uganda.
Uganda. So he
No,
originates from Uganda.
the address of the legal practice is address in Uganda. So how is Mjiako on the LPC list? His legal practice is registered in Uganda.
Wow.
Legal practice is registered in Uganda, not in South Africa. You must go check it out, Noni, or I'll send it to you. I have it. I just cannot go in and find I can even go on my laptop and go and check the practice address.
It's fine.
So that also I decided to go deeper because I am very curious. When something doesn't sit right with me, I'm going to go deeper. So now I went deeper to go and check, but where, if Njiako is from Uganda, how did he infiltrate? And then I came across a Facebook page. I will send you that page. I came across a Facebook page, and yeah, is Njiako. And Mtiago is part of this, in Afrikaans they call it, it's a cult. They call it the Broeder Bond. It's part of it. And if you can go deep in the history of that cult, evil, pure evil. So Mjago is part of that cult. So when I believe Mjago was sent to infiltrate the South African intelligence.
Okay.
Ria Pika was the one who appointed Mjiako. And the information that I have is Ria Pika actually wanted to appoint him as a general in crime intelligence. And there was a general called General Ngobo who
Mm-hmm.
refused to see him as a general. And then Mjiako was appointed. 3 years, Mjiako get arrested for armed robbery while he was a captain of intelligence. While Angeles and missed as a result of those charges against him. And currently now is missing in action. According to information, is some Cape Town. Remember, everyone who are associated with Ginda are being sent to Cape Town. Currently, I know Zoom to Cape Town.
Why are they throwing them here?
I know even Tumelo's in Cape Town.
Hi.
So Tumelo's in Cape Town. Tumelo is in Cape Town. And even now, apparently, Mjiwako is also in Cape Town. Longway might also be in Cape Town because he's also missing now. We don't know. Maybe he's also in Cape Town.
Tumelo is also in Cape Town.
Tumelo is in Cape Town. They took him to Cape Town.
Okay, let's talk about. Do you remember Gininda dropped names a lot this past week? Who is Peruman? Who is this person, Peruman? What does he do? Where is
Peruman,
he? Is he still alive?
Peruman, you know what? I'm not sure. I will go and do my research whether he's still alive or not. But I believe Peruman was his senior at that time. He was not part of the investigation team, but he was his senior because I know all the people who were investigating this matter. I know all most of the generals who investigated it. There was General Sumani, he's on pension. There was General Kobishani, he's on pension. I know all the generals who investigated this matter. So most of the generals who investigated this matter is currently on pension.
Wait, before you move. So if you say you know all the generals, so Makuba did not lie when he said there's about 40 people that were let go from this case. But Gininda keeps gaslighting Makuba and making it seems like he's lying.
Yes. As I said, I know all the generals and the people who were part of this investigation. Some of them are dead, like Linda said, but most of them are still alive. Most of them, and mind you, ask me how do I know all this information? Ask me.
Please tell us.
Of course, from the people who saw these dockets. I'm not going to mention them.
I
But
know. I don't do it, please. Don't do it.
yes, the people who investigated this docket, they are the ones who are giving me information. You know what? This is what we happened. This is what it. And I also saw this docket with my own two eyes. Remember, this docket was in the possession of the copies of this docket was in the possession of Advocate Tefo. On that day, when me, Tefo, Simobi, and Fiso were at that conference to review
Yes.
of this docket, I saw the contents of docket 375. I know who is the suspects in the, I know what is in, I know even the section 205 for 2014. There is a section, give me that about all the monkey tricks. There was a section,
Wait, speaking of that 2014 section 205, was it, from your knowledge, please do tell us, was it Tumelo's phone that phoned Mr. Hlope, or was it Kelly Kumalo's phone that phoned that, in fact, it was phoning Noktula?
it was Tumelo's phone. Tumelo is the one who phoned Tope's wife. He phoned Tope's wife, Senzo's sister. And then he told Senzo's sister that Senzo was shot by accident by Zandi's boyfriend. Remember, let me tell you something. When Longa went to that house, they remember even Zandi's mother didn't know Longwe. It was the first time he met Zandi's mother that night, that
Huh?
day. Didn't know him. It was the first time. Tumelo didn't know Longwe. Togosis didn't know Longwe. So even the people staying in that area didn't know Longwe. So the people that they seen was they saw there, all of them, even Tumelo, and they were strangers. The only people that they knew is Senzo and the people who stayed there in the house. But the other men that were in that house, no one knew who they were. No one knew who they were. So now there's another thing I wanted to tell you. Now Mtoko said he jumped over the fence.
Mm.
So now in Buthelezi, and they say, okay, fine, you said that night you jump over the fence. Yes, I jump over. Show us. How did you jump over? And he could
But when he was jumping at the time, he was scared. So obviously, it will be.
the same way they now don't have any knowledge of firearms. Is it the same way? Because the neighbor next door, the grandfather next door, who could have come and say, but no, no one jump in my yard is dead. Who will
So
come?
the Nache guy lied when he said that the person that there was someone that jumped in.
Where is the police officer? The uncle who locked the door.
Suspect.
Let's go back to where we started, whereby CBS says, and even the reporter, Mzilikazi wa Africa, knows the truth. People they destroyed his career.
Mm.
They destroyed his career because he knows the truth. That very rule on X was also almost destroyed because he knew the truth. Now, there's this other case that someone said, it is Japs who shared this case with me about Liesel de Jager. So Gininda was the one who arrested the accused in that case after the cold case unit. After so many years, Gininda arrested. You know who Gininda arrested? The obvious the husband. And you know, now, after being arrested, he's dead. Apparently over in prison.
Suspect you kid cut you are cutting.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, you are fine now.
So in that Liesel de Jager murder, that Gininda was now this investigation officer who get the accusers, Liesel de Jager's husband, who is also now dead because apparently overdosed on pills in jail. The information that we got is he was tortured. And according to the facility doctor, he dies because of a medical complication. He didn't say suicide. He didn't say overdose. He said he died because of a medical complication. Now we hear he committed suicide. He drank an overdose of pills. Now ask yourself, where did he find the overdose of pills in the cells?
Someone gave it to him.
Or someone choked him,
Yeah.
or someone choked him, or someone did whatever they did to Bontanzi, and his system could not take that, and he died. Because
Ish.
someone wanted what? Someone wanted a confession.
Okay, suspect. Let me ask you one few questions. We will keep when we have time. We will come and do this in other Sundays, ne? So we'll talk about those things that are still fresh in our brains and then come back again. But tell me, there are people first before I ask you these final questions who are asking about Gininda. You told us last week. Who is Bongani Gininda? Where is he from?
According to my information, the surname is being pronounced Kininza. Kininza. And it's from Swaziland, according to the information I have. And we will confirm it. We will confirm where was he born? Was he born in South Africa? Because you know, if you are born in South Africa, you have a birth certificate. So we will confirm where he was born in South Africa, where he was born in Swaziland. But according to my information, he was born in Swaziland.
Okay. And the other question here that they are asking, there's someone that asked something that was very, very important here. Guys, I'm not gonna be asking all your questions today. I'm sorry. We've been here for over an hour now. I need to let go of Suspect. She has things to do, guys. And people are talking about the firearm. Let's talk about the firearm, yes. Let's talk about the firearm. People are suspicious of the reasons there is a cover up to begin with. It doesn't look like, if we listen to Mr. Chico Twala, where he sounds like a guy who is heartful of Longwe's sniffing ways. He is done. He has tried all he could as a parent. He sounds like a good parent in some way because he tried to help his child, but this child keeps going back to his addiction. So there's nothing he can do. He's done. He sounded like that when he did interviews when Longwe was arrested. So now, but something that is weird that happened in that day that Senzo died. Kelly Kumalo calls nobody else. He calls Chico Twala, not the ambulance, not the police, nix, but they are claiming that they were intruders in the house. So an intruder is someone that is not supposed to be here, someone that is not part of us. They intruded, they are not wanted. So the first person he calls is Chico Twala. Chico Twala seemingly does not see anything wrong with that. But Kelly Kumalo phones Chico Twala, and we are not sure when exactly did that call to Chico Twala happened. Reason that I'm saying we are not sure when exactly, it's because we don't know whether it happened 10 past 7, 5 past 7, 20 past 7, 5 past 8. We are not sure. And I want to believe one of those calls, the one to Senzo's sister that ended up being answered by the brother-in-law, and the one that goes to Chico, they would explain a lot of things for South Africans, even for the Miua family too, if they were to be put on record in court and be said, this is the call that Mr. Shope is referring to when he says this, and this is the call that came from Kelly Kumalo to Chico, and we see that section 205. Now, there is something very interesting there. They say that Longwe was somehow a suspect, if you remember Magena saying that. And then it was never said to the public, but Zamo Kutle's name was put in there and he was in jail for 2 weeks, but Longwe Twala was never arrested. Yet the other thing that we found is that Chico Twala's firearm went to get tested and the results were negative. So now we are getting confused with all of those things because Chico Twala was never in the house according to what they tell us. So why his gun is going to get tested? Okay, fine, they say Longwe might have brought it. But now, why is this firearm something that Chico seemingly is very proud of? Like there is nothing they would find in there. They would never find Longwe guilty of any murder. You saw the interviews there in the internet. Talk about that.
I believe the firearm that has been taken for ballistic testing was not a firearm that was seen in that house that night. Remember, Gininda is insisting on a 9mm.
All of a sudden.
Tested at 9mm. But the people in the house saw it special. They even described it, Zandi described it as an old black revolver.
That's Kelly
And
Kuman.
Tumela even said that it has a wheel. So the gun that the people in the house see, that Gininda now say that now after how many years they say they don't have experience. They don't know much about guns. But in their first statement, they described the gun, which gun they saw. So I believe that 38 Spectre, wherever it is, that's the gun that they tested. Not the 9mm. No one in the house. You know what? If someone have seen a 9mm, they would have described a 9mm. Because there's a difference between a 9mm and a 38 special. There's a big difference between the two guns. So they would have described it. We saw a 9mm. Even if they didn't describe it as a 9mm, they would have described the looks like they described the wheel of the 38 special. So now, the guy them that is properly registered in his name is a 9mm. But the people in the house did not see a 9mm. Remember, in one of Chigo's interviews, he said, I saw Longwe lying, I saw Senzo lying dead on the floor. And then they asked him, but why did Kelly call you instead of the police? And he said, the police was already there.
Mm.
Police found Longwe lying dead on the floor. Was found in the house by the police. He was not taken to hospital yet, according to what Chico said in that interview. That's what he said. And if you can go and listen to that clip, that's what he said. He said, I found Longwe lying dead on the floor. And the next question is, why did Kelly call you and not the police? And he said, the police was already there.
Okay, so do you this part of this crime scene being cleaned? Don't you think if they were serious about this case and solving this case, the person that cleaned the crime scene is supposed to be there on the dock with the accused, and the so-called mastermind is supposed to be there with the accused? Why are those two people not there with the accused?
Very, very good question. The chief or lead investigator already linked them with a crime. Even before he linked the other accused or whatever. But if let's say he linked them after because of this the gun, because of the conversation, because of the downloaded. He linked them because of the downloaded bag of money. That's why the origin of that picture. Kinita must come with the origin of that picture. Where is that picture? Because I also have that picture in my phone, and they will say I was also there. We stuff on our phones, and then we forward it.
We will
I
stop
must.
saving things from social media.
You can go Google search that picture. If you can go Google search that picture, you will find that picture was circulating during 2019, 18, all over. It was a picture that was circulating. Now, you need to find this picture. Let's say you find this picture in one of the phones. And now they forward the picture because remember that if we are keep talking about the runaway phone. We are keep talking about the runaway phone. But who took the phone? Was the phone not taken by the ballistic expert and put in the bag and he left with the phone?
They forgot about that part.
Yes. They forgot that part. So who downloaded the image or who wiped the phone? Because any the phone were wiped, the phone was in his possession. At that time, when they say the phone was rebooted and wiped, the phone was in his possession because he took the phone with the phone.
Ish, Sis Patty, can you worked for Saps, right? So if I have a firearm, and you are checking using my ID number, is every firearm that is in my name going to pop out
Yes. Every firearm that is registered in your name is going to pop out on the system. Even
as long as
firearms
it's registered?
that was registered in your name before and you handed it over, all the firearms, whatever registered in your names, will pop up on the system.
Okay, sure. Hi, Jehovah Ingcwele. We are in for a big thing in South Africa. We are yet to see things happening in this country, obviously. Guys, we have about 613 people, yet we only have 344 likes. Guys, why are you like this? Can you please like the live? Like
Please,
the live, please. Like the live. Is Zungu
okay,
still under witness protection, or is Zungu here in Cape Town working and is just transferred?
Zungu still under witness protection. Um, Tumelo is still under witness protection. So yes, the state is still looking after them.
Why is it hard to find a real picture of Brigadier Gininda?
You know what? I think Ginina makes sure that no pictures are being taken of him. Because even when he appears in public, he's always wearing a mask. Even when he's in court, he's always wearing a mask. So I made sure there's really no public pictures of him anywhere. He made sure that no pictures are being taken of him. Because currently he's the most known person, I think, globally. He's the most known person globally without pictures.
Oh, Jehovah Ingcwele. Okay. So we will see if Chico Twala's gun, if they were to search how many guns he has, because he has mentioned he has had that firearm since 1989, I think.
Noni, the 838 special is not on Chico's name. Will not find it. It's not registered his name. Not registered his name, so it will not show up on his ID number.
Okay, so let's talk about the last thing that I wanted to ask. When you were listening to Gininda and Baloi this past week, even Gininda right now through Ramsipile on Friday, you could hear the hints that they were giving about to arrest those ones, including Tumelo.
Currently now, Gininda doesn't, they cannot just arrest without, remember Gininda went with a warrant of arrest for killing. And prosecutor told him to say, there's no process for, so I cannot sign a warrant of arrest. There's why they warrant of arrest because Gininda didn't have evidence. All evidence Gininda currently have is even Rata. Rata wanted to know if you find these people with a bag of money. You don't even ask them whether they went to pay Lobola. Rata didn't know in this is not physical bag of money. This is a picture. Now Rata get a picture to say, but that is really a picture. Boom. It was not a physical bag of money that they found these people with. Now Gininda come and say, even Zandi was part of the premeditated. Premeditated. Because now, if he said they planned it, it's not a hit anymore. It's a premeditated murder. Because Zandi, Longwe, and the 5 accused were together. They planned to kill Senzo. And then he goes further and say, Kelly even said, I want to get rid of him. Kelly even said, I want to get rid of him. So they were planning and they were sending this picture amongst one another. Did you receive the money? Did you receive the money? Where did Kelly get the money? Let's start there. Where did Kelly get the money?
So you
To
wanna
pay.
tell me that, Sis Pet, you wanna tell me that there is no trace of any big or large amounts coming out of Kelly Kumalo's account during?
What we have to determine. Because somehow this money are coming from somewhere. There's always a paper trail of everything. If this money is gone from Kelly's account, so now Kelly's bank account must also now be scrutinized to check whether she indeed withdrew big amount of money and put it in that plastic bag and took a picture and sent the picture. The most important thing here is, was the picture taken by Kelly's cell phone? What is
Yes.
the of this picture? Did Kelly take this picture and then immediately send it to the accused? Because that,
I,
because origin of the picture must be from Kelly Spoon.
yes.
Because
Sis Pet, thank you so much, man. Thank you so
thank you,
much.
thank you.
We are going to do this again. We will talk and we will come again and talk about other matters. There's a lot of things that I want to ask, but we can't ask them all at once. We can't
Now,
ask
don't
them all at once.
lot of time now, so yes, we will make time to discuss all these things because like you said, there's a lot of things that I feel that the defense are not addressing in court. There's
Yes.
some things are not addressed in court that we on these platforms. Remember, Rata is now also watching us, ne? So we must ask these questions so that Rata can also be aware that there are questions out there that the defense is not addressing because I feel that Gilita should have been asked by Ramos that okay, fine. He is they are not seeing the fact that Longwe have anything to do with this case, but he placed Longwe on the scene. So Longwe is now Ginida has now turned Longwe into a suspect. But Ginida already went to look for Dr. Mbatsani. Didn't find it. Did Ginida efforts to go to Longwe, take his measurements, look at his ankle, see whether he have those distinguished marks that he was looking for at the other suspect. Remember, according to Linda, Longwe is a suspect. So Longwe must be treated like a suspect. Currently now treated like a suspect because Gininda have declared Longwe a suspect. So now Gininda must also now do the same. I Ramasipile should have asked, have you like you made look for defense, but if you make efforts to go and take long ways measurements, his height, and to look at his ankle, whether there's a scar or not.
Okay. Do you know what I'm thinking right now? Because you are talking. We have points, the things that you felt like were not asked, right? So tomorrow or Tuesday, we coming back on Wednesday most with the court. Can we make time tomorrow or Tuesday, but we will talk later on? Then we make time, then we go through to the things that you feel like if they were asked, they will lead to some fruitful uh something, Jay. So please let's do that, and then we will see how perhaps the defense also watches and then it will assist them. What you think?
Let's take let's also ask the viewers to come with their own questions because I
Yes,
might
the
not
things.
all the questions that should be asked, but there are people out there who have investigated things also who must also come and assist, might come and assist us to say, but let them ask this and this and this and this. I think it will be a good exercise.
All right. Thank you so much, Suspect. So that's what we're gonna do. We will discuss when and how we are going to come live again, and then discuss how to move forward. What are the things that we feel like Ramusipile did not ask? That's what we are going to do next, whether tomorrow or Tuesday. That's what we'll do. Thank you so much. Please, God bless you. Be safe wherever you are. Thank you very
Thank
much for your time. Bye bye.
you.
Guys, thank you so much for coming through and for supporting the channel. What we will do, we will go through, because they are coming back Wednesday, we will go through the things that we feel Uram Sipile missed out on Friday when he was asking questions. Then we take it from there. We do whatever that it needs. And then we will know we as the country have done our part. They will take it from there. Ne? Please, anything that you think it's needed to be asked, please come through and then come with those questions that you feel like they were not asked, or this and this was missed, all of that. Then it will help a lot. Can we please have them likes that we didn't have, please? 526, we only have 390 likes. Just tap my nose twice, please. Tap my nose twice and then the like will come through. Tap my nose twice. Thank you so much. Okay, I remember that. I will ask about that. Iris, yes, I remember that. Yes. Uh, let's go to Clantis's page now. Let's go. Support Clantis. Can we put the likes and then we move to Clantis? All of us, all 509 and 10 of us. Can we go through to Clantis' site, please, 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 please? Thank you so much. Don't leave if you did not do your like. Press that like button. Double tap my nose, Jay, and then you exit, please. Thank you. Double tap my nose on your way out. Please double tap my nose on your way out. Double tap my nose. Thank you so much to the super thanks. Thank you so much. I don't remember who it was. It's very up there. Please, please, please double tap my nose on your way out. Double tap my nose, please, 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 please. Thank you so much. Isaiah, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Tantla. No, we are not undermining them. We are assisting. I'm just saying, if we feel like people will have like, yo, I wish some people could have asked this question, or when this was said, then this could have been. Like they do need that advice here and there. It's nothing like undermining them or anything. No, it comes from a very good place. If they use it, fine. If they don't, sharp. No, they are very brilliant. The one thing about our defense guys, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Now I am happy with them. I am so happy with everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Isaiah. Thank you so much. Who's that lady? I don't remember. Was it Vivian? Let me see. Oh, wait, come there. Yes, Vivian Murem. Thank you so much for the super thanks, guys. I really appreciate. Please, when you are kulukuding, just put your like there. Princess, did you like? Please, 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 please like. Sonto, please put your like and catch up. Chabalala, did you like? Please. Oliver, please like. Don't just kulukudu. Like wako lapo, please. Thengiwe, please like. Thank you so much. Simpiwe, Twala, please like Putwami or Siswami. Please, please, please. The old man still like, please. Enkosi Nhlanhla ulikile bafo. Please like Hanike, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. As we leave, we go to Uklantis Jumakude. Fast, ke son. And you support my friend. He's my friend. You know this. You know this. You all know this. So you've been asking that question, and yes, she does. Mampo, please like the live and then do the catch up, okay? Chris Mtomna, I did no, you did like ne. Thank you so much, Mtombin. I know when you wouldn't not like. Ngosikakulu, ngiyabulela. Asambeni ke. Sizombona ukwezibheng on Wednesday on my channel, I think. Yes. Okay, thank you. Asiphumeni ke guys, sihambeni siye. Lerato ngiyakwazi ngeke ungalike. Wanda M ulikile bafo. Thank you so much. Maria Mo. Maria, did you like the live? Thank you so much for your presence. I appreciate you. Thank you. Mampo. Smooth, did you like the live? Thank you so much. Okay. Anyway, I'll see you around, guys. And I'm going to Clantis's page right now. And go skakulu. Nibene Sunday. I'm Nant. Bye bye.